Today we're having one of those stormy, rainy summer days that I actually really enjoy because it adds just a little bit of a coziness to summertime that you otherwise don't really feel. And then in this climate, we always just really appreciate rain because we do tend to be more dry, and this time of year when we're trying to get everything growing, then it's great to have rain. So we always kind of celebrate that whenever it happens. And on this stormy day, I'm getting some breakfast going. I have some homemade sourdough sandwich bread that I am putting in the toaster oven for toast. I'm making some scrambled eggs, and then I'll add something else in a second for probiotics. But this is a really basic go-to breakfast that we've been doing a lot lately. It's easy and everybody likes it. This sourdough sandwich loaf is one that I've really been liking. I started off with the round loaves with the scoring patterns on the top in the Dutch oven, and those are really fun. Definitely go back to those now and then, but the sandwich loaf is one that my kids really like. They think it's fun to have bread that's in the shape of a loaf because then it looks a certain way when you cut it for toast and sandwiches, and they think it's really tasty. So I've been enjoying that one a lot. I'll put the recipe that I'm using for the bread down in the description so you can check it out. I did really like it. It was pretty easy to make and turns out great. Whenever there's a change in the weather throughout the summer down to the cooler, rainier days, I always like that because it gives more variety for what we can do on the different days. When it's hot and sunny, we tend to be outside doing water activities like swimming in lakes and going to splash pads and different things like that. But when it's a cooler day, then we'll usually go to a library or read books inside and things like that. In the summer, the schedule is a bit looser than during the school year. We do still do some school, but we don't have to be at certain places nearly as much as we do during the school year. So it's just, I really enjoy the more relaxed aspect, and then kind of changing activities with the weather is always really fun. For the probiotic food with breakfast, we're having milk kefir, just glasses of plain milk kefir. I always try to catch it at the right stage so that it's not too fermented. For lunch today, we're doing kind of a fun little charcuterie board style lunch. This is actually inspired because I had some people over for kind of like a brunch, which was really fun, and these are different things that I had left over from that get together. So we have sourdough einkorn crackers, some all-natural uncured salami, some Swiss cheese, some green olives with garlic stuffed inside, and some grapes. And then actually before lunch, more like mid to late morning, I am getting some dinner going. So today I'm doing a lamb shoulder roast in the oven. This is another one of my favorite super easy dinners that you kind of throw together for the most part earlier in the day, and then it just cooks at a low temperature in the oven for most of the day. But lamb shoulder is really fun because it's a little different from a beef roast that I would oftentimes do. I love including the different kinds of meat because it's great to have different variety, and it kind of inspires different flavor combinations too. But today I am keeping it pretty basic with my flavors that tend to go well with lamb. So we have some onion, lots of garlic cloves, I have salt and pepper on there, and then I'm going to add some potatoes also to roast along with it in the oven, and then I'll just throw that in the oven at a low temperature and let that roast until dinner time. And then as dinner time gets closer, I'm going to also make some other vegetables to go along the side, but those are going to be a quick thing to make closer to dinner time. Something that we like to do every summer is have a summer bucket list, and for the most part this has stayed pretty close to the same year after year, but we do kind of shift around some elements of it a little bit. But there are things like go to a lake, go on a hike, read a book out loud, go to a library, go to a museum, go to a hot springs pool, different things like that, so that we kind of make sure that we get everything that we need to done that we wanted to do for fun before the summer is over. And it is kind of interesting with the looser schedule that if you're not intentional about getting different things done in the summer and kind of have a list to guide you, the summer can fly by, and kids do love just playing and having free time like that. but I think it's great for extra memories and different things to actually go ahead and do structured and organized activities too, because that just, it's so fun, and it just, gives them something to look forward to see what activity we get to do from our list today. At this point, we are just about ready to serve dinner. It's actually cool enough that I get my sweater on. Sometimes here in Colorado, we have summers like this where it's not hot all the time. We have a good mix of cool, rainy days thrown in to where it's actually, a little chilly and you actually want something. It's great for variety, but it also means that when there's a hot day, a really hot day that comes around, you're not really used to it, so it kind of can throw you for a loop. For the vegetable side that I'm getting ready, I'm sauteing some green beans in butter. So I'm getting my butter out. I had to refill my butter dish, so I'm just putting that in there. But I have my tall-sided cast iron pan, and I'm putting a bunch of butter in there, and I'm just adding frozen green beans to that once I get that butter melting, and then just saute those in the butter. Comes together really fast, super easy, and it'll be really delicious alongside the lamb roast. So this is another one of my really favorite easy cooking from scratch meal things. You got your meat, you got your vegetables, potatoes are being our starch for today. We'll add some fermented food again in a little bit, but it's so easy. In some of these stormy, rainy summer days, it has really been pouring down rain. We actually got over an inch of rain in about an hour. That was quite a storm, but it's really been great. It's very green around here. I know that it will probably dry out more as it gets into later summer, as that's pretty typical around here, but I don't know. Sometimes we do have a cool, rainy summer where it stays fairly green and we get lots of rain every day, so we will see. But the lamb roast is ready to come out of the oven. It's looking and smelling so good. Garlic and rosemary are so good with lamb. I can't remember if I mentioned that I added rosemary when I put it into roast, but I did. So garlic and rosemary are one of my favorite flavor combinations to put with lamb, but I'm just gonna serve this up now. So I like to smash the potatoes, add a bunch of butter on top, and then have those alongside the green beans. And then I have sauerkraut as well that we are having alongside for our probiotic food. I really like having that goal to have some type of probiotic food with every meal as much as possible. We don't get it perfect every single time, but just having that goal in mind can be really great to include it as often as you can. And then we like to get creative with the types of probiotic food that we pair with different meals. So sauerkraut is a really nice multi-purpose one that goes with just about anything. So we'll oftentimes do that with just your basic meat, vegetable type dinners. But I like doing things with pickles, with a lot of those fresh summer type of foods like burgers and different things like that. Well, anything that a pickle is good alongside barbecue, those things. And then we liked doing things like beet kvass sometimes. We like to mix in things like Dr. Natasha's vegetable medley, pickled beets, and fermented salsa is also really nice. So I hope that you enjoyed coming along and seeing what we're eating in the kitchen on this stormy day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!